And welcome to another episode of the Koto's Mojo. And as always, I'm your host, Patrick Koto. We got a lot to talk about today. We got Ian on the show with us. Ian, how you doing? Welcome to the Koto's Mojo as always.
Doing fantastic. The Packers are no longer in the NFL playoffs, so I'm a happy man.
Well, that's a good way to start off. We will touch on that game, but first, I want to touch on the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans divisional game, as we have just completed the divisional weekend. The Baltimore Ravens continuing their dominance, beating the Houston Texans. Call me crazy, Ian, but I did not see Baltimore as a one seed this year. Consider with how banged up they are on offense. Lamar Jackson is doing Lamar Jackson things, and the Ravens finally got over the hump in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, they really came to play this year and showing that they don't have any weaknesses. Still showing that the other Harbaugh brother is an elite coach as well. Now that there will be two again back in the NFL.
Why don't we go ahead and touch on that lately, since we're talking about John Harbaugh and the Ravens? Yeah, Jim Harbaugh is with the Chargers. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for good old Jimbo back on the West Coast as he was with San Francisco. And we obviously saw what he did with San Francisco. San Francisco is going through some shit. Harbaugh turned it around. Hopefully he can do the same with the Chargers. They're set on offense with Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams. They got to fix that defense still. That defense is the serious weakness for the Chargers. And it has been for a long time, as you've seen in their games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's a perfect fitting. He did play there for at least like a season or two. So yeah, back to a team that he was with, and I see him doing great things with that team.
I hope so. That means that division is going to be crazy because you already got,
Hmm.
Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Antonio Pierce, who the Raiders are going to make their head coach, which I think is a good move because the Raiders were in nearly the same situation a couple years ago. They fired John Gruden, hired and then brought in, I think it was Rich Bruschetta as their interim head coach, won them a playoff game, got them to the playoffs, and then they let him go and hire Josh McDaniels. I thought that was a big mistake, to be honest with you, because the interim head coach got him to the playoffs. This time around, I think they made the right decision keeping Antonio Pierce because you don't want to go through a ton of coaches and stuff. That's just not a good look.
No, no, not at all. That's what's going to ruin you.
Especially, too, when the Raiders have such great promise. Obviously, you got the best wide receiver in the world, Devontae Adams. He's got Aiden O'Connell, which is good because I feel like him and Aiden O'Connell definitely work things out. Got to get AOC some help because AOC has potential.
Yeah, I really do. I do think that Pierce is the right coach. I mean, he kind of turned things around for the Raiders towards the end of the season. I know their record really still didn't show for it, but I mean, yeah, good things come into play. Hopefully, the Luke Getzey effect doesn't happen to them.
Yeah, Luke Getzey was an interview candidate for the Raiders. So obviously, nothing's official, but Raiders, do not hire Luke Getzey, please. Do not let him kill another offense like he did with the Bears.
Yeah, I think that would just be disastrous for what's already happening in Vegas with how bad the Raiders are.
Speaking of the Bears, Ian, the Bears have hired a new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. A lot of mixed reactions. I honestly like it.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. The guy has experience. He was with a pretty decent offense for the past few years. Why not? Why not go for a guy that actually knows how to win?
Exactly, like you just mentioned, with some good offenses and stuff. Obviously, Shane Waldron, he was with the Seattle Seahawks before he came to Chicago. Um, he was with the Seahawks from 2021 to 2023. Sure, that offense was okay, but it's still the fucking Seahawks, and he got that offense working. He was with the Rams in 2020, who obviously were not a bad team. He was also the Rams pass. He was with the Rams, their pass game coordinator. He was also their quarterbacks coach. I mean, he's been with the Rams from 2017 to 2020, moving around. He started off as a tight ends coach, passing game coordinator. There's a term passing game. And that's what the
Yeah.
Bears need some help with. So I feel like I think Fields is going to stay. I really hope he does.
And I really hope he does because
It's
just
really
we've been saying it on the show ever since we got the number one pick
it's
that
really hard to tell, to
it's
be
gonna be
honest, but I hope he stays.
it's gonna be a full reset, man.
I don't want that. I don't want that, especially with how things are clicking so far.
Hmm.
And if we do keep Fields, we're going to have to pick up his 5th year contract because he has 1 year left on his rookie contract. But then, of course, he's got the 5th year. So if we do keep him, pick up the 5th year, therefore we'll have 2 more seasons with him.
Hmm.
Because I know the quarterback draft class in 2025 ain't that strong.
No, it's not whatsoever. So,
2026, though, could have some promise with quarterbacks. But again, if you're going to keep Fields, pick up that 5th year.
yeah,
That's just me.
there's no one really good that'll fit into our offense that are coming into this draft, next year's draft. I mean, honestly, it's just going to be a full reset if we just get rid of Justin, if we go for Caleb Williams or anybody else that's in there. So, I mean, it'd just be dumb. Smartest thing to do would be either trade that first pick for something really damn good,
I would have to agree. We
a
trade that first
weapon.
pick, get something in return as well, like we did with DJ Moore last year. And I'm sure there are some good players out there, like maybe another good wide receiver, a good defensive end,
Yeah.
shit, maybe a good offensive lineman.
Yeah, we need
Some
kind
help.
of all the help that we can get right now. I would say probably our number one priority would be getting another wide receiver, and that should be Marvin Harrison
It
Jr.
should.
And
I would
then
love to
what?
have Marvin
We have
Harrison Jr.
another first round pick. What? It's like the eighth pick.
I think it's the 9th pick right now.
Okay, I mean either way, and then we can use that one and get the top offensive lineman, whoever, whatever position that is. Because honestly, at this point, we need all the help that we can get.
Exactly, all the help that we can to help, our innocent quarterback in Justin Fields. So
Mhm.
far, the Bears have the first pick, Washington's 2, New England is 3, and Arizona's 4.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking, Washington and New England, they need quarterbacks badly.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe we can make a deal with one of those teams, and we'll just take their pick. And whoever, if it's Washington or New England, Washington gets Caleb Williams. We get our boy Marvin Harrison. Or if we trade with New England, who has the 3rd pick, we'll trade with them. We'll take their 3rd pick. They'll take our 1 pick. They'll get Caleb Williams. Washington will get Drake May, and we'll still land Marvin Harrison.
Yeah,
It's a
they're still
win-win.
projecting Marvin Harrison to be like a fifth pick. So, yeah, I mean, I could see it, but I mean, we got it. We know exactly what we want. Why even trade it if we know that we're just gonna get him, you know?
Exactly. But again, it just all depends on, what every team's needs are.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be some negotiating going around for sure. And hopefully
It
Ryan Poles makes the smartest decision.
Hallis Hall's going to be busy come March
Yeah, absolutely.
because that's when the free agency, extravaganza goes off and shit.
Hmm. Yeah,
Which will
this is
be
probably
which
one
will
of the
be
biggest free agencies ever for the Chicago Bears right now.
big. This is a big off season coming up. They really have to hit this shit on the head. Otherwise, there's going to be some pissed off fans.
Exactly.
Not like there has been in the past.
Right.
Exactly. Well, it'll be perfect for the show and stuff because we'll talk on that, and of course, March Madness and stuff. So yeah, no, it's going to be a interesting March, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yep. But back on to the playoffs portion. Congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens for moving on to the playoffs. We'll talk about the opponent they played, but the next game on Saturday night, the San Francisco 49ers telling the Packers, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Love to see that.
Don't we all? What a game, too. I'll give props to the Packers, though. Nobody expected them to make it to the playoffs, and my God, look what they did. Took care of the Cowboys. Let's be really in. They own the Cowboys in the playoffs, so I'm not surprised. But San Francisco owns the Packers.
Yes, they do. They have just crushed their dreams every time.
Yep.
Yeah, something I love to see. Hopefully, everyone will be healthy enough for the 49ers.
I think
this
uh I
weekend.
think I think Debo Samuel should be good to go. Knowing Debo Samuel, he's a tough son of a bitch. He's gonna want to play.
Yeah, I think so. But
There's no
I
fucking
mean the
Michael
Lions.
Thomas that's gonna. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say the Lions are really, really good right now. So the 49ers got to bring everything in their weaponry,
The
if you know what I'm
fucking
saying.
Lions in the Super Bowl. Who the hell would have thought that? If it's possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say they got one more game. Have they ever been to a Super Bowl?
No, sir, never. The
Wow,
Lions, the
that's crazy.
Browns, the Jaguars, and the Texans are the only four teams in the NFL that haven't made a Super Bowl. But what's more embarrassing for the Lions that this is their 90th season.
Yeah,
Where
have
for
they been to the NFC Championship game? Oh,
been a
wow.
I was gonna say they've won multiple NFL championships, but that's when the playoff format was way different back then.
Yeah, I mean, we have, I think we have the most NFL championships. If I'm,
I think we have eight, if I'm correct.
yeah, for some reason, I think we have the most
We have a
NFL
lot for
championships.
sure.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, none of that shit matters.
Yeah, no, no one cares about that anymore.
No, all we give a fuck about is winning a fucking Super Bowl. And of course you want to win a goddamn Super Bowl.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I'm really happy for the Lions and stuff. And the fact that they went 0-16 in 2008. We
I
witnessed
mean,
those fuckers go 0-16 in 2008. Now look.
yeah, I mean, that's a far climb right there. It's huge with what Detroit has done, even the past like 4 or 5 years with what they
Yep.
have accomplished. I mean, they became one of the biggest laughing stocks in the world to probably the scariest team that you could come up
Right.
against.
Well, we'll touch on that shortly, but back to the Packers 49ers game. It was a game that we expected on Saturday. We knew the Packers were going to give the 49ers some hell. Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy did what they can to help the Niners. And then you got Jordan Love pulling some Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers shit, rolling out, throwing across his body, picked off, game over. Packers lose.
Like I said, Pat, it's just a beautiful thing to
Yeah,
see.
I think the Packers have found their franchise quarterback after that.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yes, you got to hope for Debo Samuel to be back because the receivers played okay. That Packers defense just gives teams some hell. But I'm happy for the 49ers. Gave us a scare. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah. I mean, that's just playoff football, man.
Mm-hmm. But that only means one shitty thing. That means Green Bay will be good next year. Just when we thought that era was over. No, fuck.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Come on, Bears. Hit the moves, make the right moves in the offseason because let's be real, Ian. I'm sure you'll agree with me on this. Our main priority is just to beat fucking Green Bay.
It really is. I mean,
I can care less about playoffs. I just want to beat Green Bay.
we could get 2 wins next year, and I hope they were both against Green Bay. I don't care about any other games. If we beat Green Bay, I'm a happy man.
I was just gonna say that's our only problem. We can't beat Green Bay.
Yeah,
Something we haven't done since 2018.
that's when we had a beautiful season end in tragedy.
That tragedy was by fucking Cody Parkey.
He who shall not be named.
Yep. I still pains me to say that I was at that game, unfortunately.
That sucks. That
It,
sucks.
and I almost took you with me, and I'm glad you didn't come.
Yeah,
I
I'm really glad I did not go to that.
would have been taken that day too.
I would have ended up in a prison cell.
Instead, you had to come to the Bears Packers home opener the following season and not watch the Bears score a fucking touchdown.
Yep. Yeah, that was great.
That was bad, painful. But yeah, back to the Niners and moving on to the NFC Championship game helps when you have that home field advantage because they're going to take on the Detroit Lions. Bro, just watching that game on Sunday against the Bucks. I mean, sure, yeah, they won, but you look at that and you're like, the Lions are hosting another playoff game. Like, you can't make this shit up. They're hosting another fucking playoff game. The Detroit Lions out of all teams.
Yeah, so cool to see for the city of Detroit. Everyone, all those fans, that guy who's had season tickets for 65
I
years,
saw
they're,
that.
they got to be a happy bunch. Speaking of which, I actually just got a call today from the Chicago Cubs asking me if I want to sign up for season tickets. Do you know how long people have waited back in the past of waiting for season tickets to go on sale?
Probably 20 years.
Yeah. So I just got offered season tickets because they called me because they I bought a bunch of tickets from them. And yeah. So now I'm just waiting for an email.
Are you gonna take them?
Maybe.
It depends on what kind of deal you get and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty cool though, yeah, if you can get season tickets.
Dude, I would love that. But back to football.
Yeah, I know. We'll touch on a lot of baseball stuff in the coming months. But yes, I'm really happy for the Detroit Lions and stuff. That season ticket holder. Again, Dan Campbell. You wish a lot of teams would have a Dan Campbell like coach. He is the most aggressive coach I've ever seen in football, and I fucking love it. Someone who is serious about football. Because there are plenty of coaches out there who aren't serious about football. Dan Campbell is serious about football.
Nah, he's a great coach, man. He is just oh man, I love what he has done for that city, for that team.
Even when the team went through, hell his first year because they only won 2 games his first year against the against the Vikings, and then they caught the Cardinals on an off game, but oh, I'm sorry, they won 3 games. They beat Green Bay in Week 18 that year, which was good to see. So yeah, 2 years in a row the Lions beat Green Bay on Week 18. So they did that shit last year, and yeah, no, the Lions and for Dan Campbell, he gives a fuck about his players.
Oh, big time.
He gives a fuck about winning. He gives a fuck about his players. He gives a fuck about the city of Detroit.
Yeah, he is just an awesome man.
I don't remember his full speech all in my head, but he said, we're gonna bite your kneecap. When he knocks us to the ground, we're gonna get back up and throw 2 punches. At the end of the day, we're gonna be the last one standing.
There you go.
I look back at that, I'm like, why the fuck can't all coaches be like that?
Right?
And I'm happy for Jared Goff too, because his career was going down the drain.
Yeah, it didn't seem like things were going well over in LA for him, and they come back and they turn things around for him. Dude, it's so awesome to see
And
that.
he's working with a really young core
Hmm.
because some of the guys that they haven't even been in the league for. Let's see, they drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown in 2000. I think it was 2021 when they drafted him.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it was going to be a process, and trust the process. Detroit's that perfect example. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jameer Gibbs, Sam Laporta, big time tight end steal. I knew he was going to do good things for Detroit because the past few years, you know, Jared Goff or whoever with that quarterback always, went to TJ Hawkinson a lot. And then they traded him to Minnesota, and then you get Sam Laporta. I'm like, this guy's going to go off. Just watch. And he did.
Right. It's just so great. Everything that has come together for that team.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And I'm happy for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well.
Yeah, I'm happy for Baker Mayfield. It seems like he's found his home.
Exactly. Because for Tampa, Brady left last year. So a lot of questions are going to be asked. Who's going to be the quarterback? Sure, it helps too when you have 2 1,000-yard receivers in Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. In Mayfield, I would have to agree with you. He deserves a spot in Tampa. Extend that guy. Tampa found their quarterback.
Yes, they did.
Not draft another one, Tampa. Keep Mayfield.
Yeah, I think it would be best to stick with Baker. He's a good quarterback. He's just been with some really bad teams.
Exactly. And sure, he threw an interception at the end of the game, but that's going to happen. Look, he won the Bucks the division in the playoff game. What else can he ask for?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, look at what he did when he came over to the Rams last year just for that little stint. Looked incredible.
So yeah, if Tampa can keep Mayfield, I think the Buccaneers will be in good hands in the NFC South next season.
I'd say so.
Because the Panthers are shit, the Saints are shit, and so are the Falcons.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. And then the the last game, the one that we were really pulling for Buffalo, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes being tested on the road for the very first time. Lived up to the challenge and beat the Buffalo Bills.
They did their thing. Patrick Mahomes is
They
just
did.
incredible in the playoffs.
They did do their thing. It shows too that he ain't just no homer, that he could play well on the road as well.
He ain't no Patrick Mahomer.
So I give credit to the Chiefs. They did what they could to win the game and stuff. Starting to lose a little respect to Bills fans for throwing snowballs. I get it. You
Oh, that
hate
shit was funny.
I know, but I get it. I get it. You hate the guy. We all hate the guy, especially after he bashed the officials for making the correct call. I'm like, all right, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah.
But dude, talk about the Bills making some key plays. How about that touchback? If you saw that, it,
Uh,
one of the Chiefs players was about to score a touchdown. I forgot which Bills player did it, but he literally punched the ball at the last second, and the ball went through
oh
the end
yeah.
zone.
Yeah, I did see that.
Buffalo did what they can, then Tyler Bass, well, he fucked up at the wrong time. Usually he's money. Not that time.
Yeah, when it comes down to crunch time, sometimes the kickers will flop.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, buddy, I'm sorry. You have to hit that.
Yep. Hey, we've been there.
Yeah, we have been there. Of course, there was some questionable play calling in the game. Again, we've all been there.
Yep.
The yeah, we Bears have been there, Bills have been there, the Colts were there in 2005 when Vanderjack fucked up a game time field goal. I mean, he shaked that shit wide, and that was after they stopped the Steelers from getting into the end zone. That game was kind of shades of that game. Buffalo gets a stop on defense in the goal line. Later on in the game, they think they're going to tie it, and they don't. That same shit happens with Pittsburgh when they played the Colts in the 2005-2006 playoffs. Colts were the number 1 seed. Steelers likely were going to put it away. Nope. Jerome Bettis coughs it up. Colts scoop it up. Have a chance to tie it up. Nope. The kick was shanked right wide to the right.
That just hurts.
Yep. And then a lot of fans are going to have to go through another week seeing Miss Taylor Swift.
Honestly, I love it that it just pisses people off so much.
The hate is, dude.
Keep it coming.
The hate is so toxic because she's just there at a game watching her man play football, and when you have a national celebrity in the building, there's going to be cameras on her. In fact, I was actually talking to one of my coworkers yesterday at the office, and he said they should put they should just put a specific Taylor Swift camera on her, and if you want to watch it, flip to that channel just to see Taylor Swift.
Just have it in their suite.
Yep. That'll really piss some people off.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it coming, folks. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Right.
Exactly. But the Chiefs, they get a bigger road test going to Baltimore. Chiefs and Ravens. First time in a long time, Baltimore is going to be hosting an AFC Championship game.
Yeah, really long time. And I think this game is just going to be balls out.
Absolutely. And I think this is the first time as the Ravens franchise will be hosting it because they're always on the road.
Yeah.
Because the year they won their Super Bowl in 2000, they had to go to Oakland. In fact, no, they started off as a wild card team that year. They had to win. They won at home against the Broncos, but then they had to go to Tennessee to get a win. And then they had to go to Oakland.
What about the year when they won the Super Bowl against the Niners?
Yes, same scenario. Wild card, played at home against the Colts, pulled a major upset against the top-seeded Broncos, mainly because the Broncos didn't have a defense that year.
Right.
Which I knew that was going to bite him in the ass. And then they went on the road in New England and pulled the upset. So I can't say I'm surprised how that Super Bowl run went. The Ravens just beat some really good teams that year.
Yeah. So we'll see how they fare out their first time at home, getting the advantage.
Yep, first time, man. Definitely the first time for the Ravens franchise that they're hosting. And then the Niners, well, this is the perfect spot for them to be at home because the past 2 years they've been on the road.
Right. So we'll see
Hostile
how things change
environments.
up for them.
This is big,
Mhm.
really big for the Niners. Some great games. I'm excited for these games on Sunday, Ian,
Yeah, me too, man. It's going to be fantastic to watch.
which will lead us to these picks in our likely Super Bowl prediction. I am going to go 49ers and Ravens, a rematch of that 2013 Super Bowl.
All right. I'm going Niners and Lions, or not Niners and Lions. Oh my God, that's the NFC Championship game. Oh my God. I am gonna go with the Lions and Chiefs. We're gonna have the Swifties versus the Stands.
And saw that with the Eminem and Taylor Swift.
Yep.
And if the Lions can pull that, if the Lions win the Super Bowl, I will be happy.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see for
I will be
Detroit.
happy to honestly see anybody win the Super Bowl except the Chiefs.
Yeah, they already have enough.
Yeah, I can live with Baltimore. I can live with Baltimore winning the Super Bowl, but I would love to see San Francisco either, get that sixth Super Bowl, tie it up with Pittsburgh to make sure say like move over Pittsburgh. There's another team winning some Super Bowls
Right?
with them and the Patriots because the Patriots have six. And
Yeah.
then there's a man by the name of Tom Brady who has seven.
Yep.
So
Oh,
then,
the goat.
yes, sir. But yeah, we will see what happens on Sunday, and I am excited. I can't believe the season's almost done.
Yeah, went by fast once again.
But you know what that means when the Super Bowl's done? Daytona 500, baby.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about the UFL. Let's go.
Well, that too. And then, of course, baseball come, late March, early April.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be in good hands once football season's done. But yeah, I'm excited for Sunday.
Me too.
Yep. Now, let's go ahead and wrap up with our Big Three segment, Ian. This week's Big Three is our Big Three NFL game day foods. Ian, every time I'm hanging out with at the man cave with you and your pops, there's always something good cooking. It gets me hungry. But Ian, I'll let you go first for your game day foods.
Definitely got to go with wings. That's a priority.
Absolutely.
Pizza, and then
Yep.
potato chips with French onion dip, dude. That's a combo right there.
Big time combo and stuff. That's definitely stuff that we had before. Nothing wrong with wings. Pizza is never a bad idea. But the chips, any chips and whatever dip you use is perfect. Whether it's bean dip, whatever you just sour, whatever you just said.
French onion dip.
French onion dip, salsa, queso, any good stuff to put in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Let's go on to my big three game day foods. My first one, and this is a nickname you'll like to call me, chili dogs.
Yeah, buddy.
Mainly because I had 10 of them one time when I was watching the Bears game at your place.
It's very true. I was there.
Yep, and I almost ate poor Nick thinking he was a chili dog.
Yeah.
And my second one, burgers. You can't go wrong with having some burgers.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And my last one, steak tacos.
Absolutely.
Ugh. I've been to your dad. I've been to the man cave a lot. That I just use that playbook and stuff out of all the food I've had.
Hey man, you gotta.
Yep. Now let's finish up the show with our plays of the week, our fantastic and bonehead play of the week. Ian, what do you got?
My fantastic would just be the return of Nick Foligno for the Chicago Blackhawks after
Yes.
he defended Connor Bedard a few weeks ago. Foligno broke his finger, came back 2 nights ago, I believe.
He's got a 2-year deal too with the Blackhawks,
Yep.
which is awesome.
Yeah, another great play, signing him. I think he's great. He's going to be a great leader for us. I don't know if we're going to give him the C on his chest just because of his age. But
Right.
either way, the guy's been fantastic, so love to see that. And then my shitty play of the week is the Blackhawks just not being able to win the past few days. Real rough go of it, especially on the West Coast.
They lost to the Kraken last night.
Yep, couldn't do anything against Vancouver a few nights ago. I mean, they're Vancouver's the best team in the league right now, so that goes to show. But then we played Seattle and we just got our shit rocked. So I think it was like a 6-2 loss, I believe it was.
And if I'm correct, the Blackhawks have lost 18 straight road games.
Something like that. It's been rough. So yeah, I mean, it's not even the Connor Bedard effect. It's just that this team needs a lot of help, and I really do think that by the end of the year, we're gonna get a lottery pick that's pretty close to that first pick again. I think it's just gonna be rebuilding for the next few years. Bedard's just gonna sit back and watch the rebuild, and he's just gonna score a bunch of goals and assists. But yeah, Blackhawks, it's rough right now.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better. That's what I'm gonna say.
I don't know how much worse this can get than what we've seen the past 5 years.
Hopefully, after this season, we start, going up.
Yeah, we shall see.
With Bedard and Foligno and whoever we get at the, whichever pick we get.
Right.
Sadly, I don't think it's number one because we don't have the worst record in the NHL.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm sure there's some good prospects out there that we'll need. If we can get a top 5 pick, we're in good hands.
Anything at this point helps.
Exactly. Well, let's go on to my big three. Let's go on to my fantastic plays of the week. My first play of the week is Jahmyr Gibbs' game-winning 31-yard touchdown against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, they were hanging with the Lions, tied at 17. Jahmyr Gibbs scored that game-winning 31-yard touchdown. I mean, sure, the Lions scored another touchdown, but that touchdown that Gibbs scored pretty much sealed the deal.
Yeah, that's what did it.
Talk about a great addition to the Lions in the running game. With Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I'm happy for Montgomery.
Oh, Montgomery, I think he's one of the best running backs in the league, and it was just stupid that
the Bears did him dirty.
Big time.
The Bears did him dirty. The Bears did Roquan dirty. Any Bears player that leaves and has success on another good team, I'll be happy for, because again, our terrible front office did him dirty.
Right.
And then my bonehead play of the week goes to another Chicago team. The Bulls blowing a 20-point lead the other night to the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Durant can't do anything anymore.
I was going to say, you let fucking Kevin Durant take the game-winning shot. I don't know why you didn't double team him, or because he's going to take those shots.
He still got it.
Yep. Kevin Durant was talking with the Phoenix, with the Arizona newspapers, asking, "Why am I not in GOAT conversation?" And I'm like, buddy, you're in a soft era of basketball. No offense.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, really soft era. Jordan's days. They let him play.
Yeah, we could go on a rant forever about this. I know that.
Oh yes, for sure. But all I know is that today's era of basketball in the NBA, soft all day. That's why college is better than the NBA, and it will be for a long time.
Definitely.
Yep. And that wraps up the show. Ian, another good episode of the Konos Mojo. Thanks as always for coming on.
Absolutely, brother.
I know in the coming weeks, we got the Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, March Madness, baseball, a lot of good, exciting things for sports coming up in the coming months.
Absolutely, man. It's a good time of the year.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Konos Mojo. We will see you next time.